All right, ready?
I think the question is, are you ready?
Never. Let's do it.
Eternal leave? Oh no.
Eternal leave. You know, the ultimate retirement.
I think Buccaneer's already gonna get eternal leave.
Oh. He's retiring to a big farm up north.
Or like a wintry Briggs thing.
The nice, cold, and unforgiving winters up
That's the
north.
only one right now I'm concerned about having in a ultimate retirement.
Oh, God. I'm so scared. I've seen the show before. All right, next episode?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm scared.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Also, where are mains?
Great question. All right, we are back with episode 57 of, I don't know why I forgot to read numbers for a second. I was like, what's that? That's a 5 and a 7, 57. Episode 57 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Eternal Leave. Spoiler, someone goes on eternal leave.
I think a couple people go on eternal leave.
We'll get there.
And a couple people just leave. Some people just leave.
Some people just straight up leave. Yeah.
Some people want to leave one way, they leave another way.
Yeah. All right, so let's just jump into the synopsis, because we got to talk about this. You know, the tunnels.
Hello? Oh, Lanfon.
Yeah. It's Lanfon. We know Lanfon.
We do.
Bradley has returned?
With a vengeance, he destroyed a Briggs tank!
Chew on that, you lousy Briggs traitors! Let's rally the remaining troops. We're gonna retake Central Command!
Should we tell them?
Hooray!
The Fuhrer is at the main gate?
Sure is, honey. So we're going to, of course, we are in Central Command, because that's where everything is going down. We're going to follow Lanfon for a little bit. Remember Lanfon?
Yes.
We love Lanfon.
She went with Hohenheim
Yes.
through the tunnel, and he was being weird about it, but I think not like in like a it came off as a creepy way, but we
it's
knew
kinda
what
funny.
he was doing.
Yes, exactly. And then she...
And then he was like, you can go, it's fine.
Yeah, and go find your prince guy. Go find him. And she's like, yippee! But doesn't say yippee. I think it would be better if she said yippee.
She doesn't seem like a yippee type of girl.
Maybe she would enjoy life more if she said yippee once every so often.
I mean, okay, but like by the end of this episode.
Yeah, no, not this episode. She's not saying yippee. So she is around, and then she hears mention of that Fuhrer King Bradley is back in town, and that he is at the main gates, and so she's gonna go back there, but we don't see her for like the rest of the episode.
Until the end.
But yeah, but she's around. So now, of course, then we see...
So now I know what the bastard who took my granddaughter's arm looks like.
Is that so? You sacrificed our country just so you
What's with the
I
glowy,
love every person in that shot,
and enslave the world as your own.
what's with the glowy eyes?
because they're pissed.
And I take it that
And you shouldn't piss them
Bradley
off.
is also aware of these plans.
He was created to lead this country for that purpose.
A repeat of the end of the scene from last episode where Fu's like, I know you're the guy. My granddaughter doesn't have an arm now.
Fuck you, buddy.
It's about to go down.
I'm definitely gonna kill you, and
Yeah.
not the opposite.
And before we get to that actual fight, which is fun and a good time.
It was a good fight.
It was a good fight. Yeah. We're going to go back to some of my favorite women. I mean, I like a lot of women in this show, but some of my favorite women, which is General Armstrong and Izumi, who are there, of course, with some of the other soldiers, and Major Armstrong and Sig, they're all there. And what they're doing is they're confronting Brigadier General Edison, who, of course, is a member of kind of the upper echelon, and they're trying to get him to talk about like what the heck there is going on.
You know what I would love is
Yeah.
if all of these characters survive. Like, if whenever... Yeah? Like, if, like, Azumi and Sig come to Central to hang out, that they get to stay at the Armstrong Mansion.
Oh, yeah! Yeah, and everyone comes up, they have a good time, yeah.
It's just like, that's where we stay, it's where we can hang out, we don't have to pay for hotel.
That's true. That's
That'd be
true.
nice.
I like that place.
Because it seems like Azumi and, like, Olivia get along, and, like, they
They do get along wonderfully. I think they seem like really good friends, and I really love that for them. Like,
Yeah, I was like, do I say, like, lesbian stuff, but also, like, I love Azumi and Sig, so, like...
yeah, but also, no, they're just, sometimes we just let the girls be friends.
Yes.
But they're very good friends. I want them to
Like
be
us.
besties. Yeah, exactly. I just want them to be besties. Anyway, so we get a little bit more about, well, we kind of get, it's really a rehash for us as the audience, but they are more informed about the plan, which of course is, about the people in charge think of it as like, oh, no, we're doing kind of the alchemical process of reconstruction. We're basically rebuilding the world. We're going to make this world without wars.
Wouldn't die, would be reborn. What you alchemists refer to as reconstruction.
What?
We wouldn't be murdering the population like you said. They would be given eternal life while dwelling inside us. Don't you
Oh,
see?
eternal
we
life.
would bring
I
the
don't think it
world
works like
together
that,
as
honey.
one. All as one.
Well, you're gonna
and
get
one
eternal
as all.
leave.
As the few chosen ones of a
Oh, no, now you're gonna die.
bring unity to the entire country.
Yeah!
We don't condone violence?
I condone that violence.
You still on their side?
And everyone, we're not going to kill everyone. They're going to continue to live on forever inside of us. So this idea that they're making the country into Philosopher's Stones, the people will continue to live on, but it's more of like they're living on through the people who are chosen to then rule. And the people in the upper echelon of the government definitely think that they're going to be those people.
So, you can only, like, it's okay to kill you if you're rich.
What do you mean?
America.
Yeah! Don't look too hard at it.
I don't think it's rich in this culture. I think it's, like, soldiers or, like, the people that they are willing to go
I mean,
along
this
with
is
it.
like the structure of this country is a military dictatorship. So power is derived not from necessarily an oligarchical or like plutarchical like money currency based system, but the people in power do have money just because that's how they run it. But it's more of like the higher you are in this military dictatorship structure, theoretically you're the one who's gonna like make it.
And it kind of is like mainly like hire people are a lot of times like alchemists because like we give them a lot of money because like they did help us with the genocide.
Yeah. Right, exactly. So the alchemists, it's also the process. I mean, if you think about it this way though, like the process in which they are getting to their end goal is regarding alchemy. So of course you're going to put the alchemists on a higher pedestal and give them rewards because they're furthering your goal as well. One, by killing the people, and then two, by furthering any impossible alchemical research. Mm-hmm. So it's bad, fam, I think is what I'm trying to say. It's bad. Anyway, I like this part where Izumi calls him out for being stupid and then beats the shit out of him with her sandal.
Yay.
I love that for her.
We don't condone violence here.
Yeah, but sometimes La Chancla gotta come out.
Yeah.
Wow. So so while they're having this conversation, of course, Izumi and Armstrong aren't the only people there. We also have other folks in the military who are then hearing this and being like, oh, we are cannon fodder here.
Yes.
Like we're not going to reap the benefits from this immortality world reconstruction thing. Our souls are then going to be used for primordial soul soup.
So they were probably like thinking that like this is like the right thing to not like clearly they weren't given the whole story.
Yeah, and really small group of people do actually know what's going on here. The rest of the people are essentially
I don't even know if they do because they thought the immortal soldiers were going to be on their side.
Yeah. When I say small, it's small. So now the folks in the military have to, when confronted with the information, have to come to a decision about what to do about this. I love her. Izumi Curtis, my beloved.
I've spent my entire life as a soldier and it just feels wrong to disobey my superiors. But I don't even know what to believe after hearing all of this.
Yeah, man.
You can't make up your own mind after hearing their plans. How can you follow a superior
Are you stupid?
have no faith in? That is not loyalty. That's mindless self-deception.
Ooh.
Burn.
And they said, like, they've been in the military their whole life. Like, what they do is follow orders, and they don't really know anything else. And Armstrong kind of calls them the fuck out and is like, bruh, like, if you're just following orders for the sake of following orders without actually supporting your leadership, then you're basically just being a mind-controlled idiot. And you're not doing anything by your own, volition. So yeah, pretty much that they have that kind of conversation. And then the folks come, they realize they're not just dogs in the military. They're not just people who follow orders. There are also people with families. A lot of them like say like, hey, I have a family here. There's people that I care about here. And the cause that I'm helping right now is going to destroy the lives of the people I actually care about.
Right. And it kind of feels like, especially like in this society, like you kind of grew up of like the military is like the greatest and like that kind of propaganda. So like you, when you grow up, you want to join the military.
Mm-hmm. That's stability.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! Fuck you, buddy.
I didn't realize that they were just like straight up pins.
Aren't they usually?
Sir, consider this
On
our
the collar, I didn't
retirement.
realize those were pins.
And now you'll get the ultimate retirement.
Come in, operations. What's the status?
It's not exactly favorable, sir. The Central soldiers are getting their second wind.
And then they're realizing that actually this sucks. So they end up removing the parts of their uniform that are denoting their rank and their loyalty. So some of their pins are coming off. They're taking off their hats. You know,
Hooray!
minus like getting naked, which they can't really do.
No.
I mean, they could.
Well, they need their weapons at this point.
Probably not.
I think
Yeah, it's probably good to like cover up to a degree, but they're taking the symbolic aspects of their uniform off.
they could really take off their jackets.
They could.
I'm assuming they have like shirts on underneath.
Yeah, but it's like short sleeves, and like I would think that if you're running through and there's a bunch of debris going everywhere, you would be covered on all of your limbs. At least that's how I look at it. But like some of the pins and the rank and the hat and everything, they're like, man, get out of here. So and then Olivier makes a call to I think the office the communications office, and basically just to get an idea of what's going on. They're like, yeah, it's not looking great. Just to let you know. And so they have to make decisions from there. So they really, the best way they have out is going through that long ass stairway that they found.
Yeah.
So they're going to go down there and Izumi's like, okay, well, if we get to a good enough point, I know how to make tunnels. We'll just make the tunnel, get the hell out of here.
Her and Sink.
Yeah. Well, no, I think she's encouraging the Armstrongs to come with them because they're beat the fuck up.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that, are they?
No, but the sentiment is there. But there's no reason for them to stay where they are right now.
But Izumi and Sig are definitely gonna go.
Yeah, and they've said that before. Izumi's like, I know I'm on their list of like potential human sacrifices. I want no part of that business. I want to help out the people I care about, but I'm not going to play into their trap. So as soon as things start getting dicey, like as soon as I've helped people, but then things look bad for me, I'm getting the fuck out. Yes! Yes, Dara, yes! I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
Well, look, I think we're at a, like the point here, it's like very nice. Like the military men are like finally learning their ways.
Yeah.
And they're going to join the right side and be happy. That's it. The end of the episode. Good night, their story.
Yeah.
Nothing else happened?
Nothing else happens. Anyway, we got so much that left that happens in this episode. Oh my god.
So much
Oh
happened.
my god.
Well,
Yeah.
we do see Ed and Al in this episode.
Mm-hmm. I love all these characters so much.
Hey!
Oh.
We found them.
Oh, we found them. Is that the main character?
We're getting close.
That we didn't see for an entire episode?
You can feel it too, huh?
You mean you can sense his presence or something?
Let's just say I've got a bad feeling. The best way I can explain it is that my old wounds are starting to ache.
I've grown an
Nice.
inch. I wouldn't say they do like a ton.
No.
But-
Ed does some
Al
stuff.
doesn't do much. Ed finds out some stuff that's important, but like it's
Al
mainly-
shows up.
He does show up.
Let's see. So we are gonna then switch over to where Ed is. Hey, the main character's here. We haven't seen him in a while. He's here. They, of course, are traversing, kind of trying to go to the lowermost kind of portion of Central, kind of where Father is. And they kind of know that they're getting close because they can kind of sense it. They know some weird shit's afoot. But as they get closer to where they need to go, they see a guy. This fucking guy.
Well, now,
Who is
I
he?
wasn't exactly expecting to have an audience. You're gonna give me performance
We'll
anxiety.
talk about it.
Oh, that guy.
That guy.
I don't really remember him.
He's just shown up
He just seems
randomly.
like a guy who's just like there.
Yeah.
You might know me as the man who created King Bradley.
That's how we know you.
That is my
They weren't
most
there for
proud
that.
accomplishment.
That we've actually seen before.
Yeah.
He's a real minor character. We've seen him, I think, two 2 or 3
It's like
scenes
that
before then.
situation. It's a situation where like you see like a little bit of a character,
Yeah.
and you're like, I think that they're important, but I'm not sure, or like you're not sure like what's the point of them and like why we keep like pointing towards them.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, they're important.
And then it leads up to a moment where you're like, ah.
It does remind me of
Okay.
Oppenheimer, where like Rami Malek is like there and he has like 2 lines at one point, and I'm like, how does an Oscar winner Rami Malek have less lines than Josh Peck?
Yeah.
And then it turns out Rami Malek's character actually comes in and gives like a full monologue that's actually extremely important.
Oh, nice.
That was a good part.
Yeah, this guy does not give an important monologue. He's just a fucking creep. So this is the man who is, in the wiki, called the Gold Tooth Doctor. Does he have a name? No, he's literally just the Gold Tooth Doctor.
I mean,
He got a gold tooth.
it's also called the Alchemist Doctor.
Oh, yeah. Which also, like, to be fair, though, Dr. Marco is also an alchemist doctor. So,
But wait, he has a name.
yeah.
This guy doesn't
It's
have a name.
Tim.
I'd say he looks like a Kevin.
Oh, look. Oh, Kevin. Look at this guy. Yeah. So there's a guy that we've seen a couple episodes. The first time we see him is in the flashback in King Bradley's kind of origin story, which, of course, you know, he was obtained somehow as a youth, and he was raised to become the Fuhrer. And basically, he was taught everything that a Fuhrer would need to know amongst many of his peers. There's probably like a couple dozen of these guys around.
But there is only one way to become a Führer.
Yes, and the only way to actually get there is to then become injected with the Philosopher's Stone of Wrath, and then become it that way. Of course, a lot of guys tried it beforehand, died until they got to Bradley, and then he was good.
So it's actually they're like kidnapping and like, I don't know. I'm trying to.
They don't know if the children. We don't get clarity if the children are like stolen or adopted or bought.
All
if
the
that's what you're
above?
asking. Probably.
I'm trying to think of like a
nefarious means.
I was gonna say I'm trying to think of a parallel, but I can't really.
Okay.
I can't think of a story where like that's happened, like where like there's like a similar thing, and then they.
Probably somewhere. Yeah.
Is it like the weird romance movie Never Let Me Go, where like the kids are trained to donate, or the kids are like raised to donate organs?
Could be something like that.
You know what I'm talking about?
I feel like you've told me about this before,
With
but I don't remember.
It's like Keira Mulligan, Keira Knightley, and Andrew Garfield.
Oh, okay.
And like I think like somehow like a couple
I remember we were talking about Andrew Garfield, and I think you brought this movie up.
yeah, like some of them like fall in love, but then they die because they are told to donate their organs.
That's terrible. I don't like this.
But some people need organs, including the people who are.
Yeah, yeah. People also need them.
But I think
to
it's a
live.
romance, so it's fine.
Oh my goodness gracious. Ugh. Anyway.
Continue. Fullmetal
Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. So when we had that scene of Bradley going in to become Wrath, we saw this guy. He's a creepy looking doctor with a gold tooth. So that was the first time we saw him. The next time we saw him, at least to my memory, is when Kimberly almost gets killed by Scar up in the north, and he's in the hospital for a little bit, and I think that guy came out.
Yeah.
So, which was exciting. Probably not. But we
Then
saw
he
that guy
got
again.
injured?
Yeah. Fuck Kimberly. Good thing he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, remember when Kimberly died?
Good times. Good times.
And we ripped out his jugular so he couldn't talk anymore.
Good times. Good times. Anyway, so we get then a confirmation. I think then it's revealed. We get some flashbacks in this scene, I think, to help remind us as an audience who this guy is. Of course, he was the scientist, alchemist, responsible for basically creating Wrath.
Hooray!
Yeah, now we know.
And
then he uses I don't think he uses alchemy, but then he summons some guys. Oh, who the fuck is this?
You boys keep them out of my hair for just a few minutes.
hello? I'm confused.
Oh,
Winter Soldiers?
they have a synchronated routine.
No, I move too deliberately. It's not just on instinct.
Beautiful
These men were at one
choreography.
time the other candidates to become King Bradley.
Oh, so they don't.
Men who were gathered at birth, raised by the state.
Yeah.
That we think might be like zombie soldiers. They're actually not. They're just regular dudes. But they are men who were basically the rejects or the leftovers from the process that got us Fury.
Well, it's kind of like once we got King Bradley, like we were like, hooray, we did it. We don't really, we need to figure out what we're gonna do with the rest of these guys.
Yeah, so basically they just kept them underground and they trained them to keep doing what they're doing.
So they just like super good fighters have been training, like literally only training for a gajillion, or like at least like 50 years.
Yeah, 50 years, yeah.
But they don't have any like superpowers.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not like, to our knowledge, because I don't think they're chimeras or anything.
Yeah.
But they're just really physically strong fighters. They may have, we don't know if they have any enhancements via alchemy, but they don't have like philosopher's stones in
Yeah,
them.
it sounds like all they did was train for, I'm gonna say like 12 hours a day, because I feel like the military understands like you need to eat and you need to sleep in order to like be good at your job. So like, so like training for like 12 hours a day for like 50 years.
Yeah. So these guys, so it's just a bunch of horrifyingly strong old men. Yeah. Absolutely scary.
And then we fight.
them. I mean, they know no other life, so.
But I'm just, how did they survive? Because I thought it was like they would kill them. Oh no!
But they are strong.
Well, they would have had other ones prepared if Bradley didn't take it. So those are the guys that were up after Bradley.
So do they have like a little bit of philosopher's stone in them, or is it okay?
No, they didn't get to the point of getting injected.
Oh, once they got Bradley.
Yes.
They were good.
Yeah,
So
but they
we're
still
good.
had extras.
Okay. And that's kind of all that happens until the end, right?
That's really all that happens.
Also, well,
with them
technically the
till
gold tooth doctor guy, he's just like playing with his chalk.
Yeah, in the meantime, we see the fighting. He's just drawing little circles in the ground. I'm sure that's nothing bad or scary. We'll come back to that. So
We getting to the sad stuff.
we're getting there. I mean, we mostly have a fight between the Greenling and Bradley, which is very fun. So Greed and Wrath are duking it out. We see at some point, I forget where this happens.
Oh, Buccaneer, don't
Resting. Forgot about this.
take it out. Don't take it out.
Better keep it in or I'll just bleed to death.
Yes. You're already dying.
So he's still going strong.
What the hell, old man? It's not like I mean, incoming!
Is that Buccaneer ends up stabbed with Bradley's sword,
Like all the way through.
like all the way through. Yeah.
He was already not doing well.
No, he was already kind of having a rough go, but he's been stabbed with a sword. So good news and bad news. Good news, Wrath doesn't have his usual weapon,
Right.
so he's fighting at disadvantage. Bad news, Buccaneer has a sword inside of him.
And then if he takes it out,
Yeah.
he dead.
Yeah, he would bleed out and die.
Because the fun fact about like if you get stabbed with something, you should usually just keep it in until
Yeah.
you get to the hospital, and then they will handle it. I think I always wonder like how you do that. Like if you have a stab when you go to the hospital, like do they just like pull it out real quick and then use everything they can to like stop the bleeding?
Pretty much. Yeah, it's probably more careful than that, but there's a strategy.
But they know what they're doing.
Exactly, unlike the regular person who's just like, oh, that always like scares me, especially in media where you see someone just like remove something. I'm like, don't remove it, it's impaled. Oh god, I hate this. Anyway,
Buccaneer eternal leave,
not yet.
but like,
We're almost there.
well, I'm glad that was the only mass casualty.
Yeah,
I know.
So Fu is fully in this fight. Like, Fu does not give a shit that Bradley's a homunculus, and Fu might be an old man. Fu is older than King Bradley, so I don't know how old Fu is. He's probably like
70 something.
yeah, like late 60s, early 70s. So, but he moves fast, and he's a hell of a good fighter.
Yeah.
And he is fighting alongside of Greenling to like basically just do what he can. So but he's he's on the losing side of things, obviously, because he's not a homunculus. Like, take age out of this, he's just not a homunculus, so he's already kind of at a disadvantage here.
I mean, he's doing good for his age.
Yeah, he's doing great. But I think at some point he kind of starts to recognize that, like, hey, old men fighting. Oh no. Oh shit. That's not good. That's not good.
Certainly makes a difference when you have a weapon you're more comfortable with.
Oh no.
That just exploded.
It's impressive how quickly you move. You're even older than I am. However, this is as old as you're going to get.
Oh god.
Oh no!
I'm probably gonna lose this fight.
And he's getting cut up a bit.
He's getting cut up. He's got some wounds. They're bleeding. He's bleeding from various places.
There's a lot of blood.
He has a lot of blood. And so he kind of decides, he says something to Greed. He's basically like, all right, hey.
Lord, forgive me. My life isn't worth fighting for.
Don't give me that crap! Are you honestly telling me that I should be like him? A king should fight for his people, because he is nothing without them.
Yeah, it's true.
This man is about to sacrifice his own nation. His people. I'll never become the monster that he is!
If you are truly a man worthy to be king, you must be able to accept some loss.
No,
You need to rest, please!
That's enough blood for eternal leave.
Just make sure, protect this body. And I think he ends up... I think he like hits him in the back, which basically triggers his ultimate shield, which is basically like him protecting the body. And then he runs up, and then he decides to suicide bomb.
Well, there's also the bit I think Ling comes back, and it's like because he doesn't want Fu to die, because like his thing is like there's a whole thing of like that like Ling has said to the, like Bradley before about like a ruler's supposed to take care of his people, like that's and you're so like that kind of thing.
There's a really good line that feels very relevant about how the ruler of a country should be invested in the well-being of its own people, not in personal gain.
And not,
Anyway.
But, like, and Fu kind of understands that, like, sometimes, like, you don't have a choice, and, like,
he's like, you can't save everyone.
And I think also Long Quan said that something earlier, but, like, that's true, but, like, what are we without a king? And, like, if you die, trying to save us, and, like...
And they're operating on this idea of a symbiotic relationship between a ruler and his people. So the ruler needs people, but the people also need a ruler. So that's kind of the relationship in which they work on. We see kind of a microcosm in that within Ling versus Fu and Lan Fan. So it's a very good talk. It's a very good scene.
I just thought of something, and this is kind of it's semi on topic.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I might have missed this. Where's May and Xiaomei? Because weren't they with?
Yeah, they got separated because remember there was I think it was it Darius and Zappano and Jurso,
oh right,
and then Mei Chang, and they were going somewhere, but then Ed and Scar split from them to basically go tell Mustang to get a fucking grip.
I forgot about that. All right, continue.
Yeah, so basically told him to get a grip. And anyway,
back to Fu.
Back to Fu. So Fu decides.
This old servant has no choice but to offer his retirement.
Oh my god. Hug?
Stubborn fool!
Aww.
I'm taking you straight to hell with me, Bradley! You bastard!
Oh my god! Oh! Oh, fuck. To pull his trump card, which is a suicide bomb. So he's got the grenade strapped to him, and he lights them all, and he's like, let's go! And goes to then jump on and explode Arad, which would be a really great plan. It would be a really great plan. It would be a really great plan if it worked. Because, like, here's the thing. Bradley is the ultimate eye, and he's goddamn good with a sword. So he pulls this insanely badass move of basically slicing Fu across the chest, specifically under the fuses of the bombs. So he takes the fuse off the bomb, so then the bomb can't explode. And now Fu...
And then Fu's got like this.
...is like bisected. Bro. It's a bad time all around.
So Fu is...
Yeah. Fu's not in a good position right now.
I was about to say, I think Fu's going to see heaven, but Buccaneer later does mention seeing each other in hell, so like...
Yeah! Which is really
Buccaneer
great.
comes
Young Lord, please forgive my shameful...
I can't handle this right now.
The Philosopher's Stone might have given you the eyes of a god, but even you can't dodge an attack if you can't see it coming. All right, old man. Maybe you are going to hell, but you aren't going alone. I'll keep you company on the ride down.
So Buccaneer comes in and makes a comment about, he's like, look, I still see it now.
Well, it's just like a thing of, like, he takes his sword out, but then he stabs, I guess because, like, Fu was there and he didn't want to move him, so, like, he stabs the sword through Fu.
So we know Fu's gone at this point, or, like, just about to be gone at this point. So Buccaneer, who is a badass and also goes to show, like, he's not afraid to, not necessarily play dirty, but he's not afraid to, like, not go out without causing a few scratches.
Right, because, like, when once he takes the sword out of him, then he's gone.
Yeah, he knows that if he removes that, he's bleeding out. But he takes that, he removes it out of him, and then basically uses Fu's failure as the advantage because Bradley is then distracted by Fu, and then he uses that to take the sword, go through Fu, and stabs Bradley.
Which isn't going to really do much.
Fucking badass.
It is, but it's not going to do much.
But it's still getting a hit on him because at this point they haven't even gotten hit on him.
That's true. Okay.
And at least the advantage, because we see Bradley mention this earlier, is that even though he is a homunculus and he is to a degree immortal, he still has a human body, and he is still being affected physically in ways that maybe some of the other homunculi are not. So he mentions well, I am old, so he's like, I do have some aches and pains, like, even though I was able to save myself from the explosion. Also, the way in which he saves himself from the explosion is insane, because he's like, oh yeah, I just used my ultimate eye and just, like, hopped on the debris and just, like, went off, and I was fine. So there is a degree, I think, that Bradley is handicapped by the human aspects of him, but we should still see it as not a win, but at least like a +1 score.
Like a fuck you.
Yeah,
like,
to
we're gonna
get
die.
a hit on him.
Yeah.
But it does result in, like, Fu just being gone.
So he's dead.
So Fu, I think, I think Fu, this is considered his, like, I think this is considered.
And Buccaneer.
Buccaneer's just about there. I think, I don't think we can X him out yet, but, like, essentially, yes.
Yeah. So, like, if we look at my chart, I was wrong about Fu. Like, I was thinking about, like, how, like, I describe it.
Back to the chart.
So, like, Fu was wrong about, because I was, like, basically, if I put them in, like, alive / maybe, or even, like, dead / maybe, for me, that kind of is, like, I am not confident enough to say they're going to survive this.
Yeah.
But, so I'm not going to put them in, like, definitely alive, or, like, definitely dead, and then with maybe my thing is, with that, is that I could, like, I'm not going to be surprised either way. Yeah. So I think, like, we'll say it's wrong with Fu.
Kind of wrong with Fu. Kind of mostly wrong.
I'm gonna say wrong with Fu because, like, I was like, I'm just not confident saying he's gonna live, but like, I think most likely he's gonna live. But I think, like, with Buccaneer, we can put that as a correct. Because I wasn't surprised. I'm not gonna be.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Because, like, I know he's not dead yet, but, like, can we, like, I don't think there's hope there. Yeah. But, like, that was a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot, man.
I hope nothing else bad happens, right?
Nothing else bad will gonna happen. Anyway, so spoiler, something bad happens. And I just want to see what the... Alright, we get a brief glimpse of Al for the first time because we didn't see him last episode. We saw him, I think the episode before is when they were heading to Central and the
car crashed.
They accidentally crashed the car. So they are running. And Al and Co. Yeah, Al and Co are running. And then we are going to go back to the underground where Mustang and Ed and Hawkeye and Scar are fighting. They're having a good time. And yeah, it's a good time all around. So, and we also get, like, a good scene between Izumi and Olivier.
Where she kind of says,
they're having, like, a really good, they're talking about human transmutation, and Izumi's kind of explaining that and talking about how different things work. Oh, I wish.
What's he drawing?
The portal of truth. I'm sure you're all familiar with the alchemist's ultimate sin, human transmutation, of course.
What's that?
If they commit this taboo, they open the portal.
I don't know, sounds like a good idea.
Pay the equivalent price for it. The equivalent price? I take it you're referring to how the Elric brothers lost their bodies. Tell me, what price was it that you paid?
Oh.
I lost part of my insides. And then after sacrificing part of myself, I learned the truth. Human transmutation. It can't even be performed.
Olivier makes a comment and is like, oh yeah, well, what did you do? And Izumi's like, I lost some of my organs. You know how it is. And they have this like really interesting conversation of like why people do human transmutation. And Izumi's like, you know, the idea of like wanting to see somebody so bad that like you would commit massive sins to do so. And Olivier kind of comments and is like, no, she's like, that's not how we do things in the military here. So, you know, she's like, we accept that, especially in the military, that death is the thing that we run into. So like, we just go from there.
Yeah.
And so I love having these characters together because I think they're just wonderful.
Again, like
they're such good. They're so similar, but they're also in some ways foils to each other.
Yeah.
Because they're women.
It kind of is like Azumi would be if like she'd ever decided to like when she was younger.
Yeah.
If she decided to like join the army, I feel like she would be Olivier.
Yeah, they have like I think at their core there's similar aspects of the personality that they do have like different. Which are like they're tough, they're badass, but they do have a deep level of caring. But you have Olivier who then went to join the military and became this like really not brutal, but very
stiff.
Yeah, just a very tough kind of leader, a very almost ruthless kind of leader. And then you had Izumi, who, even though she did learn alchemy and everything like that, went on to become a housewife and aspired to have a family. And so I think there's a lot of times where we see those two aspects and they're pitted against each other as like one of that character will be good, the other will be not good, or vice versa. Or we're always trying to have a message. I think we're always trying to present a message of what women can be or what women should be or what's more valuable as a woman. But we just like have both these girls hanging out and they have like these two very different approaches to life, but they are very similar people. So I fucking love it.
Again, Vacation at the Armstrongs.
Yeah, Vacation at the Armstrongs. If we all make it. Anyway, so but I just there's so much that I love about the show, and one of them is just like women. But I love having these two who are such wonderful representations about like just how life can be able to talk to each other and then have a very mutual respect for each other and also have a very specific and deep allyship. Women. They also talk about Ed a little bit and they're like, you know Ed, and we're like, oh, we know Ed, and they're like, ha ha ha, Ed.
Oh, Ed.
Anyway, so remember the guy with the gold tooth and he was drawing some circles?
Yeah, like chalk art, fun stuff.
Yeah, it was fun arts and crafts. Well, like, here's the thing.
Number 16, number 17, number 21, number 23.
Oh, they don't even have
names.
Number
26.
They're just numbers.
It's like Xerxes.
Oh, it's so sad. Among so many other things that are really fucking sad about this.
What's he doing?
Alchemy. What's that?
Now then, here goes!
Did he see the truth? Oh, no, we don't think. Never mind. Hello? That's not good, is it?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't trust anything that guy does. So, he finishes his circles. And we realize what his circles are. Of course, they're transmutation circles, because that's always a transmutation circle. And they're realizing that this is being connected to, I think there's like 5 parts of the circle.
Go ahead.
5 then is coinciding with all the different laboratories in Central.
Whoa.
You seem like a smart boy. Do you know how many military-operated alchemy laboratories there are here in Central?
The last I heard, they've only got 4 labs left in the city.
The 5th laboratory. Yeah.
They've got 5.
Did we just...
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
The entire city.
Oh, no.
You mean he's connecting all the laboratories into a circle?
Hey, it's like the closing of the show. There's 5 laboratories and they're all in the same shape of this very specific transmutation circle. Let's just activate the fuck out of this. So the guy activates the circle, and it turns out that there's some kind of great, horrible, terrible energy that is now connecting all of the laboratories across Central.
They sacrificed like those like soldiers that were still alive, and like they didn't even care. They're just like, all right, we gotta.
Yeah. Right, to activate that, he calls all of the soldiers to them, which notably are only numbers, not names. These men are 60 years old and have never been given a proper identity.
Oh, it's Xerxes.
Which is, yeah, it's sad, man.
But this isn't like the big transmutation circle.
No. This is just to activate this next phase of things, which is like, we gotta get the gang back together.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We did it.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
Fuck.
Oh, are those sacrifices?
Yup.
That's upsetting.
And they just accepted it. Oh, this is awful.
Ma'am, I know that,
No!
What?
No!
Oh, no.
No!
No.
No! So we kind of see what starts to happen, and we see like the eye open up. So the eye that opens up when we're about to fucking open the gate. I'm not saying we're opening the gate, but this feels very similar to a certain degree.
Well, the eye
of
opens
human
up in front of
transformation.
Ed, and in front of Al, and in front of Izumi.
Who are, as we know, are human sacrifices.
Yeah.
And they start to be fucking spirited the fuck away.
Yeah.
And they're like, their bodies are disintegrating, and they're being taken somewhere.
Alphonse!
What happened?
Hey, quick question, what the fuck?
Oh, no, there! Oh!
No! Fullmetal!
The amount of emotional turmoil I've gotten this episode alone. Yeah, Dare. You have a theory about this?
Yes.
Oh, please tell me.
Okay, so we know it seems like a lot of times like with stuff like this, everybody like assumes that they know how this is gonna work out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we got the plan together, everything's good. And like the bad guys, like it seems like they know what they're doing, but they really don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that this happening is not gonna work out in the bad guys' favors.
Okay.
I think that I don't know exactly what's gonna happen,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think this is gonna work out how they think it's gonna work out. I think
Okay.
because it feels like there's always like a flaw in their plans.
Yeah.
Like with the immortal soldiers,
Mm-hmm.
there was a little flaw there where they killed everybody.
Minor flaw, really.
So I kind of feel like there's like even like Father had like flaws with. I mean, like obviously like the first time it worked out fine,
Mm-hmm.
but then he had Hohenheim. I feel like that was his flaw, like giving it to somebody else because like then he could like go against him.
Yeah.
Or even like what's his homunculus is like they were like semi like devoid of humanity.
Yeah.
But that also kind of worked against him.
Right.
So I feel
Yeah.
like there's always a thing of just like they're always missing. I'm not sure. Like I think like there's something with like something's gonna happen in that little world thing of like something that's like gonna be like human related because I feel like that's always the thing they're missing.
Yeah, because they're always discounting humanity, and that always ends up being their flaw.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like something. I feel like the next episode or the episode after that, maybe even the episode after that, which we're not gonna watch today, is gonna be like in some kind of like void with the three of them, and something's gonna happen.
Some weird shit's gonna happen. All right, we'll find out.
Are you okay?
No, I was being real emotional in this episode because I realized how much I like these characters, and to see them
dead
or dying or just about there made me sad.
Because I think it's like when they like, because they say like human sacrifices, but like when like the eye opens, like somebody like disappears, they're not dead technically.
No,
or like because it seems like they're gonna go to like the place, like they're not actually dead.
They could. We don't know what they're doing, but it's not. Yeah, I'm not worried about our human sacrifices yet. But I'm sad about Fu
also
and Buccaneer.
I am. Where's Hohenheim? I know where.
Great question.
I know where he is physically.
Yes,
but
like yeah, what? Great question.
Because like wasn't he considered a potential human sacrifice?
Yeah.
Also, Mustang didn't go, so I think they guess they didn't need him. We didn't see the truth. I think we'll see the truth. Then
I think
they thought he would.
I think Mustang was a candidate for human sacrifice, but not one of the 100% chosen human sacrifices. There's a difference here because Mustang has not
seen the truth.
Yes.
Did they think like he was going to at a point, and they were like maybe?
Yeah, I don't want to say anything. Yeah, I think there was a degree that he could get close to that point, and in the same way that Tim Marco is the same way.
Yeah.
Like, people who know a lot, who are very skilled, who could get to that point if they wanted to. And I don't know if they think, okay, then we can, like, coerce this in a way, or we can work that to our advantage, but, like, they were high enough that, like, they were this close to being that, but not quite chosen yet, in the same way that Ed, Al, and Izumi are.
Yeah.
And Hohenheim. So
we don't know where Hohenheim is.
Yeah, so we got...
Because we didn't see him.
We got, like, one person unaccounted for. Well, we got Hohenheim technically unaccounted for, but we know that he's
because they need
really close to being that guy.
Do they need 5 people, or does it find just the 3?
I think it's 5.
So they might not have to be screwed.
Because remember, because it's like the transmutation circle has, like,
right.
5 points on it.
So that also is, like, why do they take them now? That's so dumb.
Well, we'll find out.
Because you only had 3.
Yeah.
If you need 5, that could, like, affect it.
Yeah.
So, like, it could be the truth. It's like, I wanted 5 of you motherfuckers.
Well, we don't know if they're for sure going to the truth right now.
I don't know if they're going to the truth. I think they might be going to, like, a void.
Yeah.
Maybe where Al is.
Some next phase that's not that phase yet.
Maybe the skeleton of Al.
Oh no, Alphonse, honey.
I think his body's still alive.
Alphonse, honey. I love him. Oh God. Anyway, any other thoughts on the episode, Dara?
Are you okay?
No. I just.
This feels like kind of like it's like when, like, you have like a battle thing. It's like okay, we're good for a bit. Like, the good guys are good, but then it goes, like, downhill immediately.
Real quick.
Before you get, like, we're good.
Yeah, I think we're on that descent right now.
We're on the descent, I think.
We don't know how low we're going to get there, but we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't know if it's going to go up next episode.
Also, should we call Winry and be like, hey, girl, so you're
just keep her safe. Just keep her safe.
I know, but maybe somebody wants to keep her informed. It's like, look, you're just
keep her safe.
Like, you're not boyfriend, but kind of boyfriend, and one of your best friends have disappeared.
Yeah.
Into the void thing, and I know and I don't know if they're dead or not, but maybe, hopefully they're not, because I think you made that promise. They made that promise, so, like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fun stuff.
Is it?
No.
Is there trivia?
Terrible time. There is trivia. I wanted to see. Oh, fuck. Sorry, I looked at the preview and I was like, oh, God, no, we're doing it. Oh, we're doing it today. Oh, we're getting to a part that's gonna have me having palpitations today. Actually, I don't know. It's been a really long time since I saw that part. So I don't know if I'll be normal or I'll be feral.
Sometimes you're good at hiding when you're feral.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
We'll see. So for some episode notes. Let's see. This episode is adapted from content in chapters 98 and 99 of the manga. The transmutation circle that appears in the background of this episode's title card is the 5-point circle used by the gold-toothed doctor.
Yeah.
This episode includes a scene not present in the manga in which Izumi and Olivier ponder what the gate's true nature really is, and even Edward's motivations prior. I'm glad they added that scene.
Yeah.
I really like the scene between them. In the manga, it was actually one of Buccaneer's subordinates that made the observation that Buccaneer would bleed to death from massive blood loss if he were to remove Bradley's sword instead of Buccaneer himself. Just animate the one guy. It saves a lot of time. Fu is given a silent title card because I think that means he's a goner.
Yeah.
He gone.
Also, Lanfon's a bit upset.
Oh yeah, Lanfon is at the end being like, bruh? And she, like, screams. She's like, grandfather! I would be too, because that's really upsetting.
Yeah.
Oh, poor old Ben. Oh, poor old Ben.
Well, one of them's old, but I don't care if he dies.
Exactly. Anyway, so, yeah, I think that's all we have for today. I think we're going to wrap it up. I was going to say time for a comment corner, but I really don't think we have any.
No, I checked what episode we were at.
Guys, if you could leave us comments on the show, that'd be great, because then we can read them. Mm-hmm. And have a good time all around. And I would really appreciate that, because we do read comments on the show. Remember, we are Witty Close Productions. You can follow us on a variety of social media. If you're watching us on YouTube, hi, thank you. We appreciate it. If you could like this, comment because we read them on the show, subscribe because we like when you do that. And you can also listen to our audio-only podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can also follow us on your regular social media sites such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We are at Witty Close on there. And you can also give us money on Patreon. Dara, what do you have on Patreon?
We have monthly live streams. I think by the time this come out, we might have done our Nay one. I'm not sure yet. I don't know what we're doing for that yet. Mm-hmm. Guys, we're going on a trip soon. Let us have that fun first.
Yeah.
We've got a spin-off show, First Reaction or a Fan Reaction, where we watch a show that we both have seen or neither of us have seen. We're watching Avatar: Last Airbender. We're actually being a little bit consistent now.
We love that.
That comes out monthly, and then we're thinking of other stuff, but we don't have that yet. So
yeah,
but thank you. But
so stay tuned, and thank you to all our current supporters.
Yeah,
you guys are the best, and we love you, but like not in a creepy way.
Yeah.
A little creepy.
Well.
So thank you so much for all of your support. We really appreciate it. Remember to join us next time as we are going to be so close to finishing Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood with episode 58, Sacrifices, and episode 59, Lost Light.
You okay?
No. Until next time, I'm Hannah Clothier.
I'm Dara Whitman.
Peace.
Okay, so last time, Al was with Marco, Yogi, and Fullman? Or Henkel. And they were just driving to the places.
Yeah, they were just heading probably to Central-ish.
And then Ed was with Mustang,
Hawkeye,
Scar, Mei Chang, and Xiaomei in the tunnels.
Yes.
So, like, they're okay now? Or so far?
They're not actively dying.
How are we getting Al's body back?
Oh, great question.